Okay, I am live on YouTube, it seems, and I am also live on Twitch. Yep, I am live. So, with this series, in this series, I am going to create a chatting application, and I have no idea how I'm going to create it. I have never completed a fully working chatting application, only worked on things half-assingly, but now this will be my accountability. I will have some accountability if I'm streaming the whole process, and I plan to stream the whole process here on this stream. And every line of code I write, I will stream here on the stream, and every plan, everything will be streamed on this channel. And I will be using Next.js, and we will figure out the other things that we will need on the process, and I will be learning a lot. Okay, so we have to begin by planning, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. So we need a front end and we need a back end. Yes, that is very clever. We need a front end and we need a back end for our application. The front end can make requests to the back end. Okay, and uh, okay, this is a model, but I don't think we should think in this way. What I would like to have, let's I like to start with database. So what will the database contain? The database will contain data data about the user. It will contain the user's username. It will contain the hash, password, and what else? Unique ID for the user. And yes, that is what it will contain. And it will contain a list of friends. Yep, it will have friends column, which will point to another table, and that table will have ID like anything like ID, which they have an ID and ID of the friend. ID of the friend. I can either do this, like for every user, I can make another table that that would contain the IDs of the people that this user is friends with. Or instead of all this, I can make a different table, yes, a singular table, which will contain a column ID that every table does, and it will also contain ID of friend and friend. Right? If two people have their ID in the same column, then those two people are friends. And I can have tables like this. I will have a table like this for friends, and I would have a table like this for sent requests, and I would also have a table like this for, well, I don't have to have a table for received requests because the sent request table would also contain the data I need for received requests. And what else I need? Well, of course the chats, but I do not want the chat to be stored in the database. I would like the chats to be stored in the user's Gmail ID. like WhatsApp does it. But I would have to see how WhatsApp does it. And depending on, first of all, to stay to store data into the Gmail of the user, I have to have access to it, which requires OAuth integration. I would have to get access to the user's Gmail account. For that, I would have to implement OAuth, custom OAuth. Okay, it will take time. I don't even know how OAuth works, and I will not use NextAuth, which is a creamy layer above OAuth. So I will implement my own OAuth for this, and depending on how it works, I will extend the user's schema here, and I will not be using any ORMs. I will be using SQL database, raw, raw SQL database. I will be writing queries to do my work, to get my work done. So there is a lot that is to be done here. Yep, I am live here and here. 6 minutes. So first of all, where do we begin? First, we'll initialize our project. The first thing we do, yep, initialize. Okay, and yes, I have made a few chatting apps, but like half-assingly. So I will create a new folder, uh, or letting this go like, nah, let me see what is in the chatting app. Don't know what the heck is this client common server. Okay, let me remove it. Move recursive chatting app into the what's that? First, uh, first move chatting app, chatting app first. Let's chatting app. Now I am in the folder of chatting app, but I would like to add alias which would take me directly to the chatting app. So alias chat will take me, which when I enter chat in my terminal, I will go directly to the folder which I am. Whenever I type chat in my terminal, the command that is in these double quotes will be executed like this. Now, if I sz, which is another alias to source the folder that I just created, yes. Now, if let's say I go to my home and then I type chat, I go to the chatting app, which has nothing. Well, there is something called v, shit. What the heck is v? ls less a. What the heck is vrm v? Nope. Okay. First, get in it, right? I am in Git, and now I want to create a next app, which is how do I create a next app? npx next app. I can create a next app using Vercel. Next app create with Tailwind and TypeScript. Okay, npx create next app at the rate latest. npx create at next app at the rate latest. Okay. Yep. Proceed. Name of the project. Chatting app. TypeScript. Yep. ESLint. You know. Tailwind. Yep. Source directory. Yep. App router. Yep. Turbo pack. Nope. Import aliases. Yep. Import aliases would configure like. Yep. And things are being downloaded. Okay. Front end. I will have back end. So, do I want my chatting application to be server side rendered? Nope, I do not. Because when I deploy my app, I want I do not want to pay a lot of money to Vercel to run my app. And so I will use client side rendering for all the stat for all the pages, and the client would then send requests to the backend to get data. Hey, that was stupid. Let me go move chatting app to the one above. Rename chatting app to chatting app directory, not empty. Chatting app to hello. Yes, hello, and I have all this in hello. LLS chatting app, and I have nothing. Remove directory chatting app and move hello app chatting app. Delete chatting app. LS. Yep, I have everything in the chatting app now. Run dev. No, it should work. Port 3000. I literally don't understand what the heck is happening. Okay, I can read the docs or things. I will be needing these docs a lot throughout. Now, first I have to figure out what I want. What is it that I want here? Blank. Okay, I will like to make my app modular, 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 modular. I would like to create my app modular so that uh, I can work on individual pieces individually, and at times when creating an individual piece, I can totally focus on creating that specific piece and maybe not focus too much about the overall structure of the app at those times. I think that would be an approach that I can use at the beginning and figure out later other things later. So now, yes, um, I will just start creating random things that I know I will be needing. So in what do I have? a new terminal window, chat, like you said, and in the what do I have in the app? I have this, which is nothing. I want to create endpoints to create user, but what is a user? For that, I know that I have to use OAuth to uh, to get access to the Google into the G drive of the user. So that would determine my way of making a user, and that would also determine the way that chats are being sent from one user to another, and I will be using WebSockets. Okay, see what is OAuth? What is OAuth? And yeah, documentation. Right, we started this. OAuth, open authorization. Okay, is my camera correct? Yep. Open authorization is an open standard for access delegation, commonly used. Open standard for access delegation, commonly used to grant websites or applications limited access to a user's information on another service without exposing their credentials, such as passwords. It allows users to authenticate using third-party accounts like Google, GitHub, and Facebook. We will be using Google only because we want to store the chats in their Google Drive and nowhere else. So Google is the way. Or Facebook without sharing their login details directly with the requesting app. How OAuth works. User initiates login. A user tries to log in to an application client, me, my application, a third party service, my application, authorization server, example Google. Using a third party service, example Google, uh, authorization request. The application redirects the user to the third party service, requesting permission to access specific data. Okay. User grants permission. The user approves the request after logging into their third party account. The user logs into their Google account and gives me permission. Authorization code. The third party service provides an authorization code to the application. To me, Google will give me an authorization code. Token exchange. The application exchanges this code for an access token and sometimes a refresh token from the authorization server. From the authorization server. Okay, I will get a token for an access token. Okay, access protected resources. The application uses the access token to authorize requests to the third party on behalf of the user. So I will be storing the user's chat on their G drive on their behalf. Okay, common OAuth flows. Authorization code flow used for web applications, secure server side. Okay, OAuth. So is OAuth a piece of software or a concept of open standard for access delegation? It is like HTTP, HTTP. It is like email, like SMTP. Implication flow predicted, depreciated, used for SPA single page applications. Now replaced. Mine will not be SPA. Mine will be a multi-page application. Client credentials flow, used for machine-to-machine authentication. Resource owner password credentials. Flow, direct username password exchange, not recommended. OAuth 2.0 is most widely used version today, and it often works alongside OpenID Connect OIDC for authentication. Let me know if you want a deeper dive into any of the part. And so is OAuth a piece of software or a standard? I think it is a standard, and there are different vendors which have products and that are based on the OAuth standard. I think it is in a standard, like it is literally the first line is an open standard. Okay. OAuth is a standard, not a piece of software. It defines a framework for authorization, allowing third-party applications to access resources on behalf of a user without exposing their credentials. How OAuth works as a standard. OAuth specifies the rules: client, the person who wants to log in; resource, oh, client me, owner, the person who wants to log into my website; and authorization server, the Google server; and a resource server. Uh, It outlines different flows: authorization code, client credentials, etc. Authorization control code flow, client credentials flow. Okay. It defines how tokens, access tokens, refresh tokens are issued and used. OAuth implementations by different vendors. Many companies and services implement OAuth in their authentication and authorization. Okay, authentication and authorization are different things. Authentication means verifying that a person is who they say they are, and authorization is we know who the person is, but are they allowed to use the things that they want to use? That is authorization. Now, each with their own specific APIs and extensions. Examples include Google OAuth, used for Google sign-in or API access. Google OAuth is the software, is the endpoint of Google where I can make a contact with Google, telling them that I want this you one of their users, I want access to one of their users' details, and help me, give me a token, right? Facebook Auth, a third-party service providing OAuth-based authentication. Okta, an identity management service based on OAuth. Microsoft Azure. OAuth. OAuth 2. Yup. Ah, shit, that is shit. That should not happen. Um, I think I have some black mode, dark mode. Yep. OAuth is the industry standard protocol for authorization. OAuth 2.2 focuses on client developer simplicity while providing specific authorization flows for web applications, desktop applications, mobile phones, and living room devices. This specification and its extensions are being developed with the IETF OAuth working team. Shit, do I have to read a request for comments? Shit, that would be crazy. Eh, shit. Hmm, I need to learn more. What does a control flow mean? Does it specify, um, does it divide, does it specify the exact, the protocols Does it specify different protocols for different needs? And yes, and can you please uh, define the parties involved in the flow, like who is a client and who is the who is the resource owner and who is the authorization server and who is the resource server. Yep. What does control flow mean in OAuth? In oh, ChatGPT has a top bar now, like with background that is no, it does not. It is my extension that I'm using. Dark mode off. Yep. What does control flow mean in OAuth? In OAuth, flow refers to a sequence of steps or interactions between different entities to achieve secure authorization. Different OAuth flows exist to handle different use cases that make sense, such as user authentication, machine-to-machine communication, or mobile app access. It does not specify different protocols, but rather different procedures flow within the OAuth 2.2 protocol to suit various needs. Okay, it does not specify different protocols, but rather different procedures flows within the OAuth 2.0 protocol to suit different various needs. Okay, different OAuth flows and use cases. Authorization code flow, most secure, used for web apps where the backend securely handles authentication. Example, a user logs into a website using login with Google. Proof key for code exchange flow for mobile and single page applications. Used for single page applications, apps, SPA, and mobile apps where a backend may not be available. Prevents security risks from intercepting authorization code. Client credentials flow from machine to machine for machine to machine. Used when a system, not a user, needs access to another system's API. Example, when a system, not parties involved, let's read the what does it mean? What does he mean by a system, not a user, to another system's API? Resource owner. Who is the resource owner? Author defines four key roles: resource owner, user, the person who owns the data and grants permission to access it, the person who clicks on login by Google. Example, a user who wants to allow an app to access its Google Drive files. Makes sense. Client app requesting access my application, my chatting application. That would be the application that wants to access protected resources on behalf of the user. Okay, client, I'm the client, and resource owner is the person who is trying to log into my application using their Google account. Example, a third party app like Notion trying to access Google Drive. Makes sense. Authorization servers handles authentication and issues tokens. Okay, the server responsible for verifying the user and granting access token. User and client are different. User is the person who wants to log in, and client is the person where he wants to log in. Okay, authorization server handles authentication and issues tokens. The server responsible for verifying the user, okay, and granting access token. Example, Google's OAuth 2.0 authorization server. It typically involves a login page and issues an authorization token after cons, con, token after consent, authorization code or token after consent. Okay, authorization server is the Google login page that appears when we click on login by Google. And then we have resource server API providing protected data. Okay, the place where I will send my API requests to get data. The server hosting the protected resources that the client wants to access. The server hosting the protected resources that the client wants to access. Example, Google Drive's APIs to store user files. Example, Google Drive's API to store user files. Yep. It validates access tokens before providing data. Yep. The server hosting the protected resources that the client wants to access. Okay. Example. Imagine a user wants to connect their Google account to Notion. User. Resource owner clicks on connect with Google Drive in Notion client. Notion is the client. Then Notion client redirects the user to Google authorization server for login. That makes sense. User logs into Google and grants permission to Notion That makes sense. By giving Notion a token, Google issues an authorization code and sends it back to Notion. Makes sense. Notion exchanges the authorization code for an access token from Google. It maybe could have given the access token directly instead of first providing the authorization code. I think there must be some reason for that. Notion uses the access token to access Google Drive's API resource server on behalf of the user. Google Drive resource server serves the requested files if the token is valid. Okay, that is making more sense. So, from what I understand, there must be a documentation for Google's OAuth API or O O O auth 2. Yeah, okay. Shit. Why is it not black? Darkness resides. Yes, much better. Much better. Authorization using OAuth. Yup, here I am to access Google APIs. Google APIs uses the OAuth 2.2 protocol for that is making more and more sense, more and more sense. The more I read this web, first let me go through with this. What this article means. Google APIs use the OAuth protocol, the protocol that is specifies in this protocol, OAuth 2.0, which specifies the way that a client can access a user's protected data on some third party server. Google APIs use the OAuth protocol for authentication and authorization. Google supports common OAuth scenarios such as those for web servers, client side installed, and limited input device applications. To begin, obtain OAuth 2.2 client credentials from Google API console. Then your client application requests an access token from the authorization server. To begin, obtain OAuth 2.0. Hmm, uh, hmm. To begin, obtain OAuth 2.0 client credentials from the Google API console. To begin, obtain OAuth 2.0 client credentials. Okay, to become a client, I have to have client credentials from Google OAuth. API console from here. For this application, I will be making a new Google account and I will be using that Google account here. Okay, well, let me read further. Then your client application requests an access token from the Google authorization server, extracts a token from the response, and sends the token to the Google API that you want to access. Makes perfect sense for an interactive demonstration of using OAuth with Google, including the option to use your own client credentials. Experiment with the OAuth 2.2 playground. I can play around. Okay, no requests. Step one. Oh, 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 oh. Select the scope for the APIs that you would like to access, or input your own OAuth scope below. Then click. Okay, I can access my. I don't know. I want to let username authorize the selected API and scopes. OAuth 2.2 playground. What is this? Select the scope for the APIs you would like to access or input on your own OAuth scopes below. Then click. Select the APIs for what you would like to access or input your own OAuth scopes below. Let's see. I don't know username is a thing or not. Uh, Authorize API. I don't know. Something the scopes were invalid. Invalid equal to username. Okay. Invalid scope. Let me use some valid scope. YouTube data. Okay, these are the Google APIs I can use. That is crazy to get some things and they are just available like that. Read only. Okay, let's see. Let me create another account. Use another account, and for that, I will remove the screen. I don't know. Can you guys see me? Can you guys still see me? That is crazy. It is just me. Okay, and that is too much of me. I would not like to make you guys suffer like that. Wait. And in the background, I can have something, a photo, image. Yep, image. And what the image will be. You guys will now see my gallery. That is also crazy. So do I want to show it on the screen? Yep. Let's go. There has to be a folder called wallpapers. Ah, yep. Okay, which photo? Which photo? Which photo? David Goggins? Ah, Berserk. Jordan Peterson. Or Berserk. Or Berserk. Or Berserk. Or Chainsaw Man, it seems like. Or Haikyuu. Let's go with Haikyuu for now. Okay. And I am hidden somehow. Hidden behind. Shit. Get it back. Get it back. Come. Okay, that is working. Get my video above that thing. Yep. That is contrast. But it works. It seems. Yep. That's okay. Now, yes, you guys cannot see my screen. Ah, that is crazy. Yes. Okay, let me create a new account. Man, would you like to hear some music? But that would cause copyright problems. So I cannot play some music. I can sing, but then you would not watch my stream. Dark mode. Technoblade never dies. Uh, show more account. Add another account. Create account for my personal use. But you guys are not watching my stream here either. So, Jatin will be my name and month, October, date, something, year also, something. Uh, Yes, I have to check again and again that you guys cannot see this. And yes, as a matter of fact, I am a male. Let's see if this works. Nope, username already taken. Password. Hmm. What does the chat suggest? Like there is any chat. Uh, Password, okay. Password is that should work. I guess I have to provide my phone number. Should this would send an OTP on my phone, which is I am using as a camera, and my number has been used too many times. What can I do? This number has been used too many times. Can I use my old Gmail account, which does not have a lot of things? Let me see. Case Muratari. Shit. Um, what do I want to do? I cannot create a new account with the same Gmail ID. It seems. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Duncan Idaho. Passkeys for my personal use, for my work or my business. Got a Gmail address. Gmail. Jatin. Nope, 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 nope. This has to be a toy email. Hmm. This will be the email that I will be using for all of my projects online. Hmm. Shit, I can't even make an email fast enough. And by the way, 137 means fine structure constant in quantum mechanics. I'm repeating the password in my head, and I feel like you guys can hear the password. 960870. And this number has been used too many times. What the heck do I do now? Google will verify this number via SMS. Charges may apply. I cannot create a new email using this number. So do I have how can I see all the emails that I have created using this number? Two emails, how to see emails. created for my number. Can I play some video for you guys? You must be getting bored or something. Video. VLC video source. That would be crazy. Let me see what are the videos that I have. I can add playlist. I can add files to it. I have some movies. I have some edits. You can watch random videos. Okay, I will add a whole directory, my home directory, and you can watch that desktop. Let's see. This might be messed up. What the heck is this video? Cosmological.
You asked me if an ordinary person,
You guys
by
can
studying hard, would get to be able to imagine these things like I imagine. Of course,
list.
I was an ordinary person who studied hard.
World.
There's no miracle people.
It might
It
be
just happens they
very
got interested in this thing and they learned all this stuff.
watch it
They're
here.
just people. There's no talent, a special miracle ability to understand quantum mechanics or a miracle ability to imagine electromagnetic fields that comes without practice and reading and learning and study. So if you say you take an ordinary person who's willing to devote a great deal of time and study and work and thinking and mathematics and time, then he's become a scientist.
All the Gmail accounts from my
Well,
number.
when I'm actually doing my own things and I'm working in the high, the deep and esoteric stuff that I worry about, I don't think I can describe very well what it's like. First of all, it's like asking a centipede which leg comes after which. It happens quickly, and I'm not exactly sure what flashes and stuff go in the head. But I know it's a crazy mixture of partially equations, partial solving the equation, then having some sort of picture of what's happening that the equation is saying is happening, but they're not that well separated as the words I'm using. And it's a kind of a nutty thing. It's very hard to describe, and I don't know that it does any good to describe it. And that is something that struck me that's very curious. I suspect that what goes on in every man's head might be very, very different. The actual imagery or semi-imagery which comes. And that when we're talking to each other at these high and complicated levels, and we think we're speaking very well, and we're communicating, but what we're really doing is having some kind of big translation scheme going on for translating what this fellow says into our images, which are very different. I found that out because at the very lowest level, I won't go into the details, but I got interested in, I was doing some experiments, and I was trying to figure out something about our time sense. And so what I would do is I would count, trying to count to a minute. Actually, say I'd count to 48, then it would be 1 minute. So I'd calibrate myself, and I would count a minute and 48. Think I was count seconds, but it's close enough. And then it turns out if you repeat that, you can do very accurately. When you get to 48 or 47 or 49,
Sorry, I had to remove it. This might cause a copyright. YouTube video, non-copyrighted video. Um, Minecraft parkour. Yep, I got a video for you guys. Yeah, I thought you got it. See if this works. Where is the video? That browse file image. Where is the video? Nope. I think nope. I think I will have to download the video first and then you guys can watch it. Let me download the video first. Yeah, download the video from YouTube. Download the video offline is illegal, but still it works. In 1080p, yes, in 1080p, and yep. Ah, shit. Yeah, it is downloading, I guess. It is starting to download. Not yet downloading. Yep, it is. Seems to be downloading. Check internet. Internet failure. No, there is no internet failure. I am streaming right now at this point currently in time. And yes, see my screen. That is okay. Mhm. Yep, the video is downloading and the video has stopped. So this is yeah, it is here. We have it. We have it. Have it. Uh, delete that and add a file. The video that I just downloaded. Where is it? Is this it? No. On desktop. Yep. Nah. Where is it? All I know is grind. Okay. But where is the video? I just downloaded. David Goggins, I Smell Blood, How to Defeat Fear, How to Study Hard. Okay, Jordan Peterson, Luke Graham, 7 years old. That is the video. Uh, you guys don't see it somehow at this point currently. Why? Why don't you see it? Okay, the video is not playing. Why is it not playing? The heck is happening? Let me add another file. Uh, Let me see if this works. Okay,
Sit on your bed one day and ask yourself,
that works.
what remarkably stupid things am I doing?
But why does it not? Shit, what the heck is this that I am holding right now? I don't know what the heck is this. But why can I see this? And okay, maybe you can watch this motivation video. It has subtitles. It has subtitles and everything. Yep. And you guys can watch it. I will make the video mute. Should I mute it myself? I have made the video mute and let's play it. You can read the subtitles. Shit, I have to get myself out a little bit here, maybe. Yep. Or and why am I doing all of this? To buy time to create a Google account. That is very stupid. Well, I'm not creating a Google account. I will just use my present Google account. Yep. Let me see. Where are we? The nuts and bolts of OAuth using OAuth to access in the playground. I go to the playground, request response. Yes, I want to have a response. Yes, for Google OAuth to access YouTube data, authentication to YouTube, and I'm giving access. Okay, so this playground is a front end which implements upon the OAuth. This app intends to help you explore Google's API offerings. Do not share your API credentials with anyone and do not copy data from your account to apps that you do not trust. The app's access to your account will be revoked. After 7 days, you can remove access sooner in your Google account. This will allow our playground to manage your YouTube account. Make sure that you trust Google OAuth to Playground. Yes, I do trust. It is by you. Oh, yeah, I see credentials and should I see location? Is this my location? Yeah. I see an endpoint, a get endpoint, authorization code. Yeah, exchange authorization code for tokens. Okay, select and authorize APIs. Exchange authorization code for tokens. Once you got the authorization code from the step one, click the exchange authorization code for tokens button. You will get a refresh and access token, which is required to access OAuth. Okay, so every time, so a user should have an authorization code which I can use every time to access their Gmail. Not the authorization code, but I can use the authorization code to get access to get a token which I can use in the Google API to get access to get access to their Google account. Okay, now I sent a post request and in response I got an HTTP. Okay, which contains access token. Okay, and also contains scope, token type, bearer, this and this. Okay, and what do I do next? Construct your HTTP request by specifying the URI, URL path, headers, content, and request body. Then click the send request button to initiate the HTTP request. So now I want to send a request, add headers. I can add this from here, request URL, scope. The request URL comes from the scope. Okay, and send request, just that, just like that. I think I should close it. parse error. At the end, I get YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. What is this? Authorization P error. Okay, request code. I send this and to Google APIs. And what do I get in return? Content type, HTML, current location. This. What am I trying to do here? List possible op. Yes, I want to see possible operations. List activities. Retrieve a list of resources possibly filtered. Okay, let's see what happens. Error message. No filter selected except 1 or minus channel ID. Home. Reason missing required parameter location type. Message. No filter selected. Expect 1. Okay, I have to select a filter mandatory HTTP. What are the mandatory HTTP headers that I need to use in here? Insert channel banners. Insert delete channel selection. I can do a lot of things. Delete group, insert group items, delete group, insert groups, insert videos, list videos, retrieve a list of resources, videos possibly filtered. A reason missing, require no filter selected, expected. List videos, list videos, retrieves a list of resources possibly filtered, possibly filtered. Mandatory headers, what are the mandatory headers? Access token and two steps will be added to authorization. Okay, you guys are watching the video. Yep. Now I have white in front of me and I will switch to my Twitch stream to see how it looks. And I think it looks really good. I can maybe have a white light somewhere. Yeah, it actually looks good. On my Twitch, it actually looks good. But latency in Twitch is high right now. It has been 1 hour. I think I can stop this and switch to this stream just like that. Just like that. So tomorrow we will be much more reinforced. I will, if I didn't see anything, I will use much, I will shit, you guys saw some things, but that doesn't matter. It's okay. I will revoke. If there is something to revoke, there must be. And tomorrow we will begin with, well, this session was really refreshing because I did not, at the beginning of the session, I was worried like what is going to happen. I don't have any idea what is going on, but now we have some tangible target we can target, that is OAuth, and implement our own custom OAuth. And what do we know at this point? At this point, we know that OAuth is a protocol, and big companies like Google, GitHub, X, and different companies like Facebook have their own side of OAuth implemented, and we can connect to the ways that they provide to access data for a user, and we are the client, and Google is the authorization server. And in return, we will tell Google that whatever is the way that Google wants us to require access to a user, and we will get access to a user's data, and we can then store the chats on their Gmail account. And That seems good.